these bones live. You see they're dry. You see there's no marrow in the bone. You see they're scattered all over the valley. They ain't even full skeletons. I mean, the bones are scattered all over the valley. They're just bones. But answer me a question, Ezekiel. Can these bones live? Ezekiel answers the only way he knows how to answer. Lord, you know. Critical race theory was born out of critical legal theory. Am I teaching y'all something today? There emerged two common beliefs linking all critical race theories. First, white supremacy has subordinated black people and other people of color. That's just a fact. How in the world are you going to fight against that being taught in any school? White supremacy has subordinated black people and other people of color. That's a fact. Why don't you want that to be taught in school? You let your schools teach us that Columbus discovered America. That's a lie. You let your schools teach us that George Washington couldn't tell a lie. That's a lie. You let your schools teach us that some slave owners were beneficent and good slave owners. There were no good slave owners. Anybody who owned people was evil. That's a lie. You let your schools teach us that Abraham Lincoln was good for Negroes. No, Abraham Lincoln was trying to save the Union. And Abe Lincoln himself said if he could save the Union and keep black people in chains, he would do it. That's a lie. Come on, somebody. You let them teach us about a white Jesus. You let them teach us that Native Americans were the aggressors. Come on, somebody. That white folk had a manifest destiny and that the pilgrims were good to Native Americans. That's a lie. All day, every day, you let them teach us lies. All throughout my history in school, I was taught lies. But you got a problem with critical race theory because it teaches the truth that white supremacy has subordinated black people and people of color. The right to bear arms. Let me just back up a little bit and let me take you on back to the late 1960s when Ronald Reagan was the governor of California. And they were oppressing black folk, and a group of men and women known as the Black Panther Party decided that they were going to defend the rights of black folk. And the Black Panthers decided that the Second Amendment wasn't just for white folk. So they strapped themselves with guns and showed up at the Capitol in California. And when they saw them Negroes with guns, come on, somebody. That's why I say if you ever really want to get gun laws changed, just strap all these Negroes up. They'll change them laws before the week is over. When the Black Panthers, watch this, I want you to read, the California legislator passed what was called the Mulford Act. It was a gun control act that decided who could get guns, who couldn't get guns, what could be in your background, what couldn't be in your background. It was the first time in history that the National Rifle Association, the NRA, supported restrictive gun legislation, all because black folk had the nerve to get strapped. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, go get strapped. Amen, somebody. Y'all gonna say Bishop told us to get strapped. I said it. Go get strapped. It just got real quiet up in here. But y'all already know I'm a triple P. Amen. Y'all know what a triple P is, right? A pistol packing preacher. Amen, somebody. in inspirational gospel music. So definitely you want to tune in to them. Certainly, it is Friday. Welcome to the Black Love Experience. Shout out. There we go. To the one and only Ben Swan. I finally got my sound on it. I had no sound on my social media stream, so we had to fix that. So if y'all on the social media streams and y'all can hear me now, tell me you can hear me. All right, just put a shout out. Tell me you can hear me, because they be messing with me. Yeah. Facebook be messing with a brother. You know, they shut my stream down, restrict my account, uh, don't let the sound go. And there was nothing wrong with the sound coming through the system. Um, you know, I really think that the people who monitor these things have certain people that they target, and I think I'm one of them. And, it is what it is. Throughout the annals of history, they've always tried to silence black voices of dissent. All right, so if you're on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, wherever you are, and you can hear me, just say, Bishop, we can hear you. So I know that we're good. 413-736-2781. 413-736-2781. So listen, this presidential race is in full steam. And I'm gonna say this. I know there are a lot of people who, even in the black community, who are ain't down with Kamala Harris. Um, have their critiques. I had critiques of her when she was running for president. Um, um, and that's okay. It's all right to critique someone's record. It's all right to critique someone's policies. It's all right. Here's where I draw the line. Here's where I draw the line. Those of you who are critiquing her because in your mind she ain't black, Trump ain't black either. Okay, so if that's your rationale, I ain't voting for her because she ain't black. Yeah, yeah. Um, and you do understand in the first of all, race is a made up social construct to begin with. But in these yet to be United States of America, they've always operated by the one drop rule. If you had one drop of black blood, you was black. That's why when Massa raped our women on the plantation, he enslaved his own babies, okay, who were half white, because of the blackness that was in them. So in any era in America, Kamala Harris would be considered black. And y'all know it. So just cut it out. Just stop it. Um, but my point is, regardless of whether you support her as a candidate or not, you have to understand that the level of disrespect that she is receiving, particularly from non-melanated folks, is because they perceive her as black. They're not disrespecting her because she's South East Asian, because she's Indian, or any of that stuff. They are disrespecting her because, in their perception, she's a black woman. Period. Let's just be honest about that. Malcolm said it best when he said, "You don't catch hell in America because you a Mason or a elk. You don't catch hell because you a Democrat or a Republican. You catch hell because you black." And so the things that they are doing, here's what you need to understand, whether you support her or not, whether you like her or not, is the same thing they would do to your black mama, to your black wife or significant other, to your black daughter, to your black sister. Okay? The same folk who you excuse for disrespecting Kamala because you don't like her would do the same thing to your black mama. That's what you need to understand. So Jesse Waters makes this tasteless joke, and I'm going to let you hear it on Fox News, questioning her foreign policy experience. And he says that she's going to get in the Situation Room and she's going to be, she's going to be frozen in the Situation Room. And these are his words. The generals are going to have their way with her. Yeah, this is what he said. The generals are going to have their way with her. And of course, so some of the ladies on the panel object to him saying that, and he comes back and he says, I didn't mean it sexually, but at the same time, him and the other white guys on the panel are laughing like it's a joke. So the whole inference about Kamala being gangbanged by white generals was funny to them. So raping black women is a joke. Y'all got to understand the level of disrespect that's happening here, and whether you like Kamala or not, you should be condemning that, because that's the same thing they would say about your daughter or about you if you're a black woman in America. We're going to talk about it when we come back. Don't go nowhere. 413-736-2781.
You say you sold out because black women are loud and crass. What? And your precious white woman is the epitome of class?
All right, if y'all can hear me, let me know. Rep your city, rep your town. Rep your city, rep your town.
Ain't got nothing on me. For hundreds of years, we have stood by your side.
Can you hear me on Facebook? I see y'all can hear me on YouTube. Can y'all hear me on Facebook?
Satisfied your lust and always settled for less.
Can you hear me on Facebook?
In the background and allowed you to lead.
All right, Whitney, good morning. Counselor Click Bruce, good morning. Okay, I can hear Facebook, so I'm assuming y'all can hear me on Facebook. Let me check out the YouTube. I think y'all already told me you can hear me on YouTube.
And now suddenly you say we're not good enough for you. We forced you to sell out.
Let's see. All right, Whitney. Okay, y'all can hear me on YouTube. We good. Let's go.
In the boardroom, the warehouse, and on the slave ship. She stood by his side and didn't say a word, waiting for her own.
All right, let's go. Let's see if y'all can hear me on the gram. If y'all can hear me in Twitter, throw me a thumbs up or something.
Well, hold up, wait a minute, and stop the damn bus. Because there are a few things I need to remind you about us. Listen up. A more beautiful
you can hear me on the gram.
Never made than an African woman, no matter her shade. High yellow, red, gold, or cocoa brown. We are more.
All right, y'all can hear me on the gram. I think we good.
Or black as the night. It is we who have always shared in your plight. We are passionate, spiritual,
loving, and kind.
A more generous heart you'll never find than the one that beats inside the body of a Nubian queen, the hardest working, loving, giving woman you've ever seen. For we give and forgive until there's little left. Then we're forced to put up our guard to avoid your theft. The theft of our hearts and our trust, the very nature of our soul, by our so-called brothers who are just playing a role. And you wonder why some of us act as we do? Take a look in the mirror, because the answer is you. It's not enough that the white man has always tried to keep us down, but our own men act as though they'd love to see us drown. And white women have never invited us to join their equal rights struggle. So we're out here alone with the million things we juggle, raising the children that black men leave behind, and dealing with the racism of the daily corporate grind. Damn, it's no wonder some of us are loud. Hell, we're just trying to be heard. In a world where everyone, including our men, ignore our every word. Where are the brothers who understand a black woman's worth? Right here, who will protect and stand by us, for we are the salt of this earth. We birthed you, raised you, and showered you with love. It was we who taught you to love your creator above. That's right. We gave you all we had and taught you to be men. Open your eyes, it is us, your black sisters, not Bo Derek's kind who rate a perfect 10. And one final word for the sellouts who claim to be brothers. When you turn your back on us, you disrespect
your mother.
Did you hear that?
Your mother. This is a response to the sellout. 90.7 WTCC. Good morning to you and yours. Good morning to everybody from everywhere who's listening in on this morning. Listen, here in the field, it is Stone Soul Picnic weekend. All right, so today, tomorrow, Sunday. We look forward to this every year. So everybody survey down to a Stone Soul Picnic. You got to be a certain age to understand that song right there. Y'all don't, you youngsters don't know nothing. Y'all don't know nothing about that right there. But anyway, Stone Soul Picnic is happening this coming week on Tuesday through Friday, our annual Holy Convocation at the Spring of Hope Church of God in Christ. On Tuesday night, my friend and brother, the preaching machine, the Bishop Robert Jones from Mission Church, is the guest preacher. And on Wednesday, Pastor Willie Moy from all the way from Connecticut, all right, from Bridgeport, is coming, and he's preaching to us on Thursday. Mother Valerie Fields, and then on Friday I will be preaching. And then on Saturday is our Hope Fest from 1 to 5 right there on the grounds of Spring of Hope Church. At 3 p.m. there will be a street naming ceremony where Alden Street, where our church is located, will be named Bishop Talbert Swan Way. And so I'm honored by that and invite you to come down and be a part of that ceremony. Congratulations out to Jay Griffin. Quincy Street was dedicated in his honor as Jay Griffin Way, Gerald J. Griffin Way. So honoring folks while they're here to smell the flowers and be appreciated. So a lot of stuff happening, a lot of things going on. Once again, NAACP Freedom Fund, October 17th. Go to our Facebook page, Greater Springfield NAACP. Get all of the information there. You need to get your tickets now, because once we sell out, we out. We sold out last year, sold out the year before that, and in typical black folk fashion, y'all be coming the last week trying to get tickets. So you better get the tickets now. The Reverend Siobhan Arline Bradley, President and CEO of the National Council of Negro Women, will be our guest speaker. So you don't want to miss any of that stuff that is happening. I'm going to get your calls in. I see Amia waiting in the space. I want to get all y'all in. Anybody who got something to say about what I'm talking about. Listen, once again, let me say it again. Whether you like Kamala or not, whether you're voting for Kamala or not, understand that the disrespect, this level of disrespect, especially from these white men, is because they perceive her as a black woman, period. Now, you can say, she ain't black, I don't care. Well, they would do it to your mama, to your black mama. Your black daughter, your black wife, your black girlfriend. Trust me and believe me on that. Sister Mia, you're in the space. Holla at your man.
Hey, going.
Good morning.
Good morning.
What's happening? Uh-oh, you went back on mute. Unmute your microphone.
I think my internet might be janky today.
There you go.
Can you hear me okay now?
I can hear you.
Okay. So your title, "The Dangerous Disrespect of Black Women Rape Aren't Funny." What rape jokes were there?
So I'm going to play it in a minute. So on Fox News, Jesse Waters, who's a virulent racist anyway, he says he's talking about Kamala Harris's foreign policy experience, and he basically says, well, she gets in the Situation Room, she's going to freeze, and the generals are going to have their way with her. And so, of course, the women sitting at the table protest what he's saying. He goes, have your way with her, control her, not in a sexual way. And he and the other white guys start laughing. Now, we know what the connotation was when he said it. And then when he claims he didn't mean it like it sounded, they're giggling and laughing about it. So basically that he was making a rape joke.
The audio went out. I don't know if you can hear me.
I can hear you.
I'll drop down if you can hear me, and I'll come back up.
All right.
Okay, great title. I thought you were talking about something else, but I'll be right back.
All right. Yeah, let me play it. Let me play it so y'all have some context in terms of what I'm talking about. And you tell me how you take this. Okay? If this is just innocent or pay close attention to, and you really need to see it. You really need to go to my Instagram or go to Facebook, Twitter, wherever. It's all over the place. Look at the look on his face, especially when he says, "Oh, I didn't mean it in a sexual way," as he's smirking and laughing, and listen to the other white guy on the panel giggling about it. Okay, take a listen.
And let's talk about foreign policy. What is her foreign policy? And this is where the president has his most impact. You have a lot of room to maneuver there as commander-in-chief. We don't know who she is. We don't know what she believes. She's going to get paralyzed in the Situation Room while the generals have their way with her. Right now...
Jesse Waters.
Jesse, I don't like that. Figuratively, again.
Take it back.
Have their way with her. Control her. Not in a sexual way.
Not in a sexual way. I mean, did that sound like he wasn't joking? Does that sound like he didn't mean it like he said it, or he didn't say it like that so that people would perceive it like that? Let me play it again. Let me know if I'm just crazy or if this was just downright distasteful and disrespectful.
Too. And let's talk about foreign policy. What is her foreign policy? And this is where the president has his most impact. You have a lot of room to maneuver there as commander-in-chief. We don't know who she is. We don't know what she believes. She's going to get paralyzed in the Situation Room while the generals have their way with her. Right now...
Jesse Waters.
Jesse, I don't like that. Figuratively,
Take
again.
it back.
Have their way with her. Control her. Not in a sexual way.
Not in a sexual way. Come on, y'all. Come on. And either way is bad. Whether he was joking about, whether it was a rape joke and he meant it in a sexual way, or if he meant it the way he corrected it to say, I meant it to control her, it's still disrespectful, because what you're basically saying is that a black woman doesn't have her own agency and a bunch of white generals would be able to manipulate and control her. So I don't care how you slice it. It's still blatantly racist and disrespectful. There's no way around that. There's no way to fix that up to make what he said okay in any way, shape, or form. Okay? Now, the bottom line, um, like I said, and this goes for whether you support her, don't support her, you have to admit she has faced some serious levels of disrespect and hostility, particularly from white men in positions of power and in the media. And it's crossed the lines of both racism and sexism. And what it does is it reveals or basically underscores or reminds us. I won't say reveals because we've always known it. It reminds us of a disturbing reality about how black women are still perceived and treated in America. So this guy makes this blatantly offensive remark suggesting that she would be paralyzed in the Situation Room. Okay? And that the generals are going to have their way with her. And despite his denial of any sexual connotation, the implication of his statement depicting a powerful black woman. Now, but basically he's saying he gives this scenario if Kamala Harris is president. So if Kamala Harris is president, she would, by people's depiction, be the most powerful woman in the world, person in the world. So he's depicting a powerful black woman, perhaps the most powerful person in the world if she's president, as being helpless in the presence of white men in power. Being helplessly either raped based on his sexual connotation or helplessly manipulated and controlled. And he said the word controlled by white men in power. Either one is profoundly disturbing. Let me play it again, because pay attention when he corrects himself. I don't mean it in a sexual way. I mean control her. I don't know how that's any better to say that a powerful black woman is so helpless that she can be controlled by these white men. Let's play it again.
Her foreign policy. This is where the president has his most impact. You have a lot of room to maneuver there as commander-in-chief. We don't know who she is. We don't know what she believes. She's going to get paralyzed in the Situation Room while the generals have their way with her. Right now,
Jesse, Jesse, I don't like that.
Figuratively,
Take
again,
it back.
have their way with her. Control her. Not in a sexual way.
Control her, not in a sexual way. Now, whether it's control her and rape her in a sexual way or whether it's control her in a different way, it's still disrespectful. I mean, the rhetoric not only perpetuates dangerous stereotypes, but it also reflects the deep-seated racism and sexism that black women continue to endure. His comment goes beyond the realm of political discourse, basically into the territory of hate speech, as far as I'm concerned. Just the imagery of what he said, the imagery of a black woman being overpowered by white men, takes us back to the painful history of racial and sexual violence that black women have faced throughout the history of America. Black women have always been portrayed as hypersexualized, inherently subordinate to white men, and this is a stereotype that is rooted in slavery, perpetuated through the Jim Crow era and beyond. And by suggesting that Harris, whether you like her or not, a highly accomplished leader,
would be rendered powerless and victimized by white men, this guy is tapping into harmful racist tropes that reinforce the idea that black women, regardless of their status, regardless of their achievements, regardless of their accomplishments, regardless of their brilliance, they're still vulnerable to degradation and violence at the hands of white men. Okay? Understand the messaging that is going on here. Understand what this racist white man is saying. The sexual and racial undertones of his statement should have resulted in his dismissal from Fox News. He should have been fired. Should have been fired. And I promise you, if he would have said that about a white woman, he'd be gone. He would be gone. His words are not just inappropriate, they're dangerous. Because they perpetuate a culture that normalizes the dehumanization of black women, making it acceptable for public figures to degrade them without any consequence. Let me go back to the space. Bad News Brown, you got the microphone. Bad News is connecting. While he's connecting, 413-736-2781 is the number here if you want to chime in on the conversation. Now, if you think I'm off base, put it in the comment. Let me know. Let me know what you're thinking. If you think he was just innocent, oh, he didn't mean it like that, you know. And if you think he didn't mean it, he didn't mean to give the sexual connotation, tell me how his actual meaning of her being controlled is any better. Now, this goes back to the other guy, I can't think of his name, calling her the original Hawktua girl, a reference to her giving oral sex. This is the kind of stuff they're saying about the Vice President of the United States of America. Let's not forget that she is currently the current Vice President of the United States of America. But white men in the media feel like it's okay to talk about her like this. Now, you know, they tell you when Trump was in office and when white folks in office that you got to respect the office. They never respected Barack Obama. They don't respect Kamala Harris. So they don't really want you to respect the office unless it's a white person holding the office. You know, the media has a responsibility to hold its commentators accountable, particularly when their rhetoric promotes hate and violence. The fact that Waters still has a job after such a statement is a failure of accountability. And it's a testament to how normalized this type of racist and sexist discourse has become in America. And here's the thing, brothers and sisters. Again, I don't care if you're voting for her or not. It's crucial to recognize that defending her against these type of attacks is not a matter of political allegiance. You don't have to be on someone's side politically to defend their humanity. Whether you agree with her policies or support her as a candidate is irrelevant when addressing the issue of her humanity and dignity as a black woman. The issue is the respect that all women, particularly black women, deserve in public discourse and beyond. And allowing these kinds of derogatory, racist comments to go unchecked only serves to further entrench the toxic environment in which black women, including black women in power, are constantly undermined and disrespected. And I think black men in particular have a unique responsibility to stand up against the dehumanization of black women. Think about it, brothers and sisters. The historical and present struggles of black people in America are intertwined. And the disrespect toward black women can't be separated from the broader context of anti-black racism and misogyny. When a black woman, especially one in a position as significant as vice president, is disrespected and degraded in this manner, it's a direct attack, whether you believe it or not, whether you like it or not, on the dignity and the humanity of all black people, and black women in particular. And black men have to recognize the importance of defending our sisters, not just in word, but in action. We've got to use our voices and our platforms to call out this behavior and to demand accountability. In 2024, when they want to tell us racism doesn't exist, when they want to tell us how much progress we made in America, it's disheartening and shameful that black women still have to endure this blatant disrespect and hatred in 2024. Let me get Sister Mia back up. All right, sis, let's go again.
I know, right? Round two and go. Can you hear me better now?
I can hear you.
Okay. 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 So, so I'm gonna be the pushback. You might not like what I'm about to say, but
Okay.
I hope black men sit this one out because number one, she's not a black woman. Number two, she has anti-black man policies. And number three, let her white husband fight this battle. Let her white husband go against Waters and Fox and the Confederate Nazis. Let her white Jewish husband do that. I'm sorry, I'm getting some work done in the apartment today, and I don't know if you can you hear me okay better?
I can hear you.
Okay. So yeah, let her white husband do this, let her white Jewish husband go against these white Confederate Nazis on Fox. So, but to my point earlier, I thought you were talking about the disrespect that comes from a lot of the melanated immigrants like Tethers. But check out your purple pill whenever you can, because that's what I thought you were alluding to, especially last night. Very disrespectful from, I'll just say his name and I'll be done. It was Hoochie Daddy, but now it's Hoochie Tether. But yeah, check the purple pill out when you get a chance. That's what I thought you were talking about.
Okay.
But again, I hope black men do not come to her defense. Again, she is not a black woman. She is an Indian woman. Again, she has anti-black family policies that go against black men, first and foremost. And number three, let her white Jewish husband fight this battle. Go against his fellow white Confederate Nazis. That's on the Fox. And that's part of the Republican Party. So, let him handle it. But yeah, great space and great title. Take care, TGIF.
All right. Now so I don't disagree that her husband should be defending her. Absolutely. No doubt about it. As an individual. So what I'm speaking of is the broader context, because notwithstanding everything you said in terms of your perception that she's not a black woman, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, let's just frame the reality. The reality is, in America, she's perceived as a black woman. In America, the fact that she's got a Jamaican daddy, because she's got brown skin, she's perceived as a black woman. There's no way around that. And the way these white people, these white men in particular, handle her, they're not handling her like that because she's an Indian woman. They're not handling her like that because they think she's South Asian. They're handling her like that because this is a black woman in their mind. And so the broader context of this is they see her as a black woman. And if you replaced Kamala Harris, any other black woman in that position, they would handle the same way. So that's my broader context, is the way they're handling her. They would handle you, Sister Amia. They would handle my mama. They would handle my wife. They would handle my daughters. They would handle them no different. Because in the broader context, their disrespect, though it is individually targeted at her, in the broader context, that's how they feel about black women generally. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Bishop. How are you?
I'm good. You?
Fine, thank you. I'd like to make two comments.
Go ahead.
First of all, okay, the first one is this. President Barack Obama, his father was African. His mother was Caucasian. He is duly noted as a black man. Okay? Same thing with Kamala Harris. Her father's Jamaican, right? Black man. Her mother's Indian. Okay? The other thing is this. With the structure of government, the generals don't control the president. The president is the commander-in-chief. The generals advise the commander-in-chief.
Yeah, but see, in the minds of this white man, if the president is Donald Trump, another white man, then he's going to control the generals. But if the president is Kamala Harris, a black woman, then she's going to be paralyzed, and the generals are going to have their way with her.
So to your point, what else could he had meant? Even the host that was on the program with him, if you hear their response and how they perceived what he said, that tells you all you need to know, how it came across and what it meant. Because they told him, "You, Jesse, take it back."
Absolutely. They immediately recognized the sexual connotation, and the women did, and demanded that he take it back. And then the white men laughed at it like it was funny. You know, a joke about raping black woman, gang raping her by the generals. That's funny to them.
Yeah, so even if we don't know what he meant, they surely knew what he meant.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But I just want to say those things. Thank you, Bishop.
All right. 413-736-2781. 9 minutes left. I'll take your calls to show close. Let me go back to the space and get Infinite Umbra in here. Infinite, you got the microphone. Unmute your mic. You got the mic.
Hey, Bishop. Sorry about that. I was actually taking care of something else for a second.
All right.
First and foremost, I want to just tell you that it's going to sound like, as the young folks will say, that I'm glazing. But, brother, I am very proud of how you carry yourself and how you bring you don't go easy on these white supremacists. One, that's what I love. Two, I respect that despite you being a bishop, not only will you call that out, but you will defend black folks, even at the point that you were just making, that the perception is that Kamala is a black woman to them. And you're absolutely correct. So even if it's a matter of people thinking, well, she's not us. Yeah, but the white supremacists think that she's us, and they're talking down not only for her, but they're talking down to black folks when they do that. So if they're going to do that to her, they're going to do that to all of us. So that has to be corrected.
Absolutely.
And it's the same thing with Obama when they did that. We had to call that out, even if you disagree with them, even if you don't like them. It's something that's going to be used against us as a whole. So I applaud you for calling that out 100%.
All right. Appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate you.
413-736-2781. If you're in the space, go ahead and get your request in, and we'll get you. We'll bring you up on stage so you can say your piece. Let's not get it twisted. We can split hairs as we've been doing all over the place in conversations about her race. It ain't just Donald Trump talking about her race, it's black folk talking about it too. So there's all kinds of Twitter spaces and conversations on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube and everywhere about Kamala Harris's race. And there are a number of black folks who share, and my sister Amia, great sister, great commentary in terms of the issues at hand, and others you feel like, hey, she ain't black. And so we can split hairs all day and talk about, oh well, her daddy considered himself more Irish than Jamaican, yada 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 yada. I don't know, because I don't know her daddy, but he Jamaican, period. All this consider yourself and all that really don't make no difference, because we got some dyed in the wool blue black folk born in America as black folk who don't consider themselves black. So at the end of the day, let's not dismiss the history of this nation. Let's not dismiss the fact that this nation has always considered that if you had a drop of black blood, that you was black. Let's not dismiss the fact that when the white man raped black women and had babies by black women, he enslaved his own children because he considered them black. Thomas Jefferson's children were on the plantation working the fields because he had them by a black slave, so they were black. In anybody's world, Barack Obama will be considered black. And we can split hairs over, oh, well, his daddy was African. He wasn't born in America, so he ain't black. Stop it. Stop it. Now, you can say Barack Obama is not a descendant of enslaved Africans that were enslaved in America. That's a true fact. But that don't mean he ain't black. And that's the part that I disagree with. Folks saying that black folk who aren't born in America, or whose parentage, whose lineage doesn't go back to enslaved black folk in America, that means they're not black. There are black folks all across the diaspora, on every continent, in every country. You cannot dismiss their blackness simply because they weren't born in America. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yeah, thank you, Bishop. I agree with what you're saying. It's not about where you were, your parents. If you're black here, you got the skin color of being black. And we need to stand up for our color, period. She was born here, so whatever color she is, to me, she's black. And we do not need these people to sit up there and talk about her like she's somebody's shrimp, because she's not. She's a sister that made it, and we need to support her because she made it. Thank you.
All right. 413-736-2781. All right. Let me see who we got here. Love Black. You got the mic.
Hi, Bishop Talbert. How are you? It's One Love, and
One
my name
love.
is Sister Rella. How you doing?
I'm good. How you?
I'm blessed and highly favored, hanging in there as best I can. So, I think the every time that we have this conversation, we have this conversation with the perceived Pan Africanist group or people who just love melanated people. We also have the point of erasure just unknowingly. And
Mm-hmm.
it's not the mere fact for me anymore that people ignorantly misidentify her. It's the mere fact that she doesn't even speak to the Fannie Lou Hamer history. She doesn't speak to the things that Ida B. Wells was fighting for. And so when you look at her, I was watching that interview, the CNN interview, and she was talking about the picture of the mirror of her niece, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she couldn't even stand full chested, even in respect to her mother, because children emulate who the mother is. And she has been for the most part in her coming up through her career, she had no problem with speaking about her mother's nationality, her mom being an immigrant, being from East Asia and things like that, a particular class. She didn't really speak about her father. But when you look at how now the emulation of, well, the world and society might see us all as black, but seeing us all as black is not the same as seeing us all as descendants of American freedmen or Negro people or ADOS or FBA, whatever people want to identify as.
Sure.
It's not the same. And when you look at her as being a figurehead of someone saying the AKAs and all these other groups want to identify her, they don't even identify her on the base level of saying she is someone from the Negro soil that actually can stand there and say, guess what? There were women like Henrietta Lex and, like I said, Ida B. and Fannie Lou coming further into present day, even Condoleezza Rice and all these other black women who, and Condoleezza, I believe, is from somewhere else as well. But what I'm saying is, she doesn't even speak to that point, and
Now,
she
now,
can't stand
now,
full chested
now.
for
See,
her own story.
now your critique is a
Mm-hmm.
critique that I think is a responsible conversation that we can
Mm-hmm.
have about the candidate that doesn't
Mm-hmm.
attack, oh, she ain't black and yada yada yada. Now you're talking about her positions, her policies, her perspective, all of that I can respect in the conversation.
Right.
But the reality is that hasn't been the prevailing conversation that people have been having. They've been having
No,
the
it's not. And I don't disagree with you.
yeah.
I'm not disagreeing with you on that, and it hasn't. But I will tell you that it's not, it is not inappropriate. But I think what is inappropriate for her to do is not to stand full chested as who she is and say, I am the best person because I have these experiences and I recognize these groups. And that was the one thing I did not like that Obama didn't do as well because he got with Grace Ming from New York and they decided to start attacking the historical record of descendants here so that they could blend in. To me, we should have this discussion in a way that actually unfolds and allows the history of our country to bloom because we are American. When she says I'm an American, she's not going to tell our story. She's going to tell her story and the story of her parents who were two immigrants even if they were or perceived as black because they were shielded under the guise of, moving around in different states, like in Oakland and around the country, but living in Canada. Do you understand what I'm saying? Their
I got you.
story
I
is
got you,
not
sis.
the descendant story. And when we're
Absolutely.
talking about legislation and the things that are happening to us right now in the Congress that we have, she does not mention that. Neither does Trump. They don't even talk about us as if we are the fabric in this country.
Sis,
That's a problem.
I wish I had more time
Yes,
to
I'm gonna let you go. I'm so sorry.
it's okay. It's okay. I appreciate everything that you had to say. I got to get out the way. Don Felton is in the studio. He's coming up next with mid-morning jazz and great black music. He's going to make it smooth. He's going to make it personal. Stone Soul is happening this weekend. Get yourself on out to Blunt Park and become a part of that. If you're looking for a place to worship, check us out at the Spring of Hope Church, 35 Alden Street, Springfield, Massachusetts. The Brick Church at Six Corners. Prayer, praise, and preaching. We're building better tomorrows by changing lives today. I'm out of here. Until the next time I talk to you and you talk to me, always remember, God loves you, and so do I. Peace and blessings. All right, I'll check y'all out. Peace.